So I just sat down to make a video, and then of course the sun is like glaring so much that you can't even see me. And I was gonna go close my blinds, my curtains rather, and I just thought, oh, I'm gonna start the video now because this is kind of what it feels like right now. That the light is shining on me and no one can see me. I'll explain more. One moment. It's much later now, and I totally forgot what I was going to say about not being able to be seen. Oh, maybe it was this. Maybe I was just going to share this. I don't know. Do I want to share this? Okay. Maybe. I had been thinking about how it feels like I have a lot to be grateful for, right? I've achieved a lot of things that I've been working towards for a long time. And I was thinking about how I don't really have anyone to share it with, because I feel like the people that if I did share it with people, that they wouldn't really be happy for me, that they would sort of try to take the wind out of my sails. And if you watch this because you're a hater, like, I just want you to imagine this. Those feelings that you feel where you're not really like cheering for me or whatever. I want you to imagine them, that you're holding them, like those feelings from inside you, right? Like take them and hold them and then eat them. Just kidding. So anyway, all is well. My next task is changing my story about that, like writing in some people who are also doing well so they don't feel like weird about me doing well, you know? Because that's who's going to cheer you on, is people who are also doing well. Even though when I wasn't doing well, I was still cheering people on. So I think it's just certain wounding patterns don't allow people to feel happy for other people's success, I guess. I'm not saying like, like my success is personal to me. It's not like your success. Your success is what you consider success. My success is inner peace, really. I worked towards it for a long, long time. And when I was faced with my shadow, I worked it again and again and again. When I saw something outside of me, I took it right back in me, and I decided, where is that in me? And I didn't shame, and I didn't blame, and I didn't point fingers. And anytime I realized I was doing that, I took that right back within myself too. I worked to free myself of the programming, which acted like a heavy burden to carry and to live out, So now I'm going to change the story about whether or not the people around me are happy for me. And just so you know, I don't have very many people around me, so it's pretty easy to do, right? Like, all I have to do is just stop hanging out with my mother. I'm kidding, kind of, not really. I won't talk about that much more, but if she were to ever to watch this, I would feel bad that she would know that I know. I think in her own way, she's happy for me. She'll cheer me on. But there's much more to it than that. And I don't want to make this video about that. So, these cherries are pretty delicious at the moment. I've been working on this bag of cherries for quite a while, so I just finished them up in this bowl and sat here to finish eating them. I'm determined to not waste any of the food that I have in my refrigerator this month. I reorganized my fridge. And I put all the condiments in the drawers after seeing an Instagram post about someone who suggested that for people. With like, I think she was saying it was for like ADHD or something. Like, I guess those people like let their fruits and veggies go bad too. But I definitely have the out of sight, out of mind thing. So I put my condiments in the drawers because her point was that if you need a condiment, you go for it. Like, you're going to find it wherever it is. You don't need it to be in sight. And then I put my veggies and my breads in the door. Well, all my veggies wouldn't fit. I have a very small fridge, I realize. Only because of the amount of food I put in, it fills it up so much. I don't think I've ever had that problem at any other place I've lived, so it was a brand new fridge. I'm not complaining. So when I put them in the door, now every time I scan like what needs to be eaten, and then I plan my meals around that, which is a different way for me to eat because I usually eat by my mood. But so far so good. That's why I'm not letting these cherries go bad. I've seen them in the door. I was thinking about throwing a bunch of fruit in this bowl, but I'll just start with the cherries. So, let's see what the cards have to say. Right over. Just my sitting. All right. Oh my goodness. All right, better. Recovered. Okay. Here it is. Let's do some astrology oracle. I just heard, I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. Is that really the lyrics? Whenever you're around, I feel the earth move under my feet. What's that song about? I'm gonna look up the lyrics. Sung by Carole King. I feel the sky tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble whenever you're around. Ooh, baby, when I see your face. Mellow as the month of May. Oh, darling, I can't stand it when you look at me that way. I feel the earth move. Oh, darling, when you're near me and you tenderly call my name, I know that my emotions are something I just can't tame. I've just got to have you, baby. Okay. I just lose control down to my very soul. I get hot and cold all over, all over, all over, all over. Okay. So, that song, I didn't hear it recently or anything. I'm taking that definitely as part of the reading. And then the astrology deck brought us some interesting cards to go with that. I mean, right off the bat, obviously there is someone who has a liking to someone else, but according to this astrology reading, someone else is interfering in that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Someone has a fan. So, who are you in the mix? Are you the one being fanned on? Are you the one fanning? Or are you the one meddling? Interesting. This is that threesome. I say threesome, but not the fun kind. Not that the threesome necessarily is fun. I don't recommend. um, a third party situation, though. Mm-hmm. Why is this coming up? Okay. So, someone feels very strongly about another. There is a connection between these two. The hidden influence, so the known influence is a conjunction, meaning there's energy that's like coming together that's like activating. Probably two people. And then hidden influence is Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, money. Okay. So perhaps if you're the fanning person, you find this person very beautiful. What needs balance is the fan. Fan came out. It's literally an asteroid name. So it's like, make sure you are not letting... It just made me feel like I wanted to look at my fan and make sure it was balanced. But make sure you're not letting it go into obsession. There's a pressure to shine light on something here. It's like, I feel like the balancing out of fan means like, what's the point of being a fan, you know? Is this like a crush on a famous person or something? Or otherwise, why aren't you just talking to them and telling them and becoming a friend? Becoming a suitor, you know? You're feeling a lot of pressure about it, though, for some reason. The relief is earth, grounding it. You will feel this pressure until this is grounded. And this is weird because it's like fantasy. Is this in a fantasy state? The other people involved who are influencing the situation, says others swindle. Swindle means lie, cheat, manipulate in an unfair way. So you may have gotten some bad advice. You may have been told something that's not true. You may feel like someone put a spell on you. I got that from looking at Aphrodite. Well, hello. We've got to ask more questions. So there's a strong attraction, right? And it won't go away. There's some pressure to shine a light on it and ground it. You'll get relief from grounding it, it says. The pressure is to shine a light on it. There is a coming together. It's a known influence here. Okay. Let's get three sets of cards here. Next, if you're the person who is being fanned on, what do we have to say about that? Accept that this is the truth. Accept the truth. Maybe you don't see it, or you don't think it, I don't know why it would matter, but it's wanting you to acknowledge this. Hidden influence, vertex, it's fate. Needs balance, victory. What you think victory is, isn't what victory is. Not in this situation. You've got to understand what victory actually is in this situation. There's pressure for you to go back. This is something that you think is in your past, and it wants you to go back and revisit it. Okay? You will get relief by grounding this. Earth came into the relief position again. And others, we have hybris, which I think is another way to call hubris, but let me just look that one up. Hybris. Hybris mythology, the personification of insolence, excessive pride, and arrogance. A dangerous form of pride that leads to disregard for the gods and the natural order, often resulting in punishment. Well, so, the people who have been interfering in this situation are going to get the consequences of their actions. So, you're being asked to revisit this situation where there was an attraction or a coming together that didn't happen. You're being asked to revisit it for the truth of it and understanding what the victory actually is in it. Okay? It feels a little vague, but I'm going to go with that. Now I'm going to do cards for the admirer. So the person who's feeling the strong pressure to towards another person. that might be seen like Aphrodite. You know this is a spiritual thing. What you may not know, the hidden influence is AC. That's ascendant. So, part of what's influencing this situation is how you want to be seen and how others that you know see you. That's what the ascendant stands for. How the people you know see you and how you want them to see you. That's influencing this situation. Your friendships and your devotion needs balance. Something's out of balance there. What are you devoted to? Needs balance, concordia. Let's look this up. Goddess of agreement, harmony, particularly in marriage and society. She's associated with the concept of peace and unity, especially within the Greek-Roman state. Oh, so what needs balance is your coming together and your unity. Okay? This is, this is a spiritual thing. You may not know that how you're seen and how you want to be seen is influencing it. You need to balance it out, and again, Ra in the pressure. There's a pressure of Ra, which is to bring it to light. Release is showing how much you care. And others, synastry, it's like you may not realize how the other people that you are sharing space with are influencing your energy. I listened to Jess Puckett, the Chaos Witch, reading that she put out today. And she was talking about this third party, like a poor influence, right? That there was like 3 people just like this. And that the second person was being given a karmic lesson to resolve, but they were falling into the karma instead of coming out of it. That's what this reminds me of. It's like when you're around certain people and you like forego your own values. Excuse me, you don't take the high road. You let things slide all in the name of how you want to be seen. In that reading, Jess was saying that this person just didn't want to do the work. They didn't want to look at themselves. They didn't want to drudge up all those emotions that they'll have to process and deal with. They didn't want to do what had to be done, basically. And that they were about to slip down the path with this person, the karmic person, who, by the way, we saw in the first reading, is about to get consequences of their actions. I can't believe I'm still getting readings about this. But I did think this was in my past. Okay. Well, let's pull cards for the third person now. The person that got in the way, spread a rumor, said something about the first person that was being admired to deter the second person. What's this person's reading like? Jealous and envious. You are learning something. You will become wiser after this situation because life's about to teach you. You know that you're not compatible in this situation. You're making it seem like you are, but you're not. The amount of snooping you do, we got needs balance Sherlock. It's like Sherlock Holmes. The amount of snooping you do is out of balance. It's untoward. It's not becoming of a lady. It's like all the time you spend snooping could be spent bettering your life. Could be spent really doing the work. Could be spent going in the direction that you're meant to go in for your soul's evolution. Like, instead juggling people and try to fool them all. I'm sorry, but the climate these days isn't gonna really stand for it. There are angels all around you about to topple your towers because they were not built on the truth. The pressures that you feel, not because you choose to pay attention, but because you're now put in situations because of your actions that have now come to light. That pressure, angels did that to you. It says pressure angel. Wow, interesting. So, release, 5th house. Express yourself. Deal with your inner child. Instead of dealing in lust, deal in romance, because I think you'll find that when you try to deal in romance, it's not there. You've been basing it on lust. It says you were just pretending to be something you're not. And you're getting others to do it as well. Interesting. I don't really want to give this reading, to be honest, but I mean, like, it is what it is, right? It's like, I will say this. If the person who is admiring decides to go towards the first person that they are admiring, it better be for the right reasons. If it's because this other person got their consequences, got found out, and is now hurting the way that the person is seen, so in an effort to be seen better, in a better light, they go to the more higher vibrating person. That's not the reason to go towards the high vibrating person. They're not your rescuer. I mean, the whole thing is like, something does need to be coming to light, though. I mean, there's pressure about it. I would plan on an honest conversation. Even if the honesty is, I don't have it in me to want this for any other reason than selfish reasons. Why not say that if that's the case, right? I think that's the kind of thing God respects. The truth. But if you lie and manipulate and try to paint yourself in a different light than you actually are, you know? Leave things out, tell half the story, just embellish a little, do a little love bomb. I would think there needs to be a detox period, but maybe that happens after a conversation. I don't know. Let me ask what God wants for this. God, like, what do you want to come out of this? Okay. God wants, I was going to say everyone, but then I heard someone. God wants someone to take responsibility. The hidden influence is Atlantis. So this is something that's happened before. The unrequited love needs balance. There is a pressure of being pushed into the unknown with only hope to help you. Relief comes from expressing self, maybe even in romance. And this is an echo of something that's happened before. This is about someone taking responsibility for their unrequited love situation. Wow. I just got this sense that this is a karmic pattern that is attempting to be broken in this lifetime. This is like the last chance kind of thing. This needs to be done. The pressure of being presented with it won't go away because it was promised. It's fated. It needs to happen in this lifetime. Not because of any reason except for these souls need to do this. Like, God's not going to curse them or abandon them or anything like that if it's not done. But these souls have put the pressure on this to happen. These souls have agreed to this to play out. I just heard no matter how long it takes. And what that is an expression of truth. It has nothing about an outcome, right? This is nothing about someone putting their life on hold, waiting for another person to express themselves. Nothing like that is being said to happen. It's saying somebody was interfering. That person karmically is going to be put on, like, what's that? Put on, when like the spotlight's on somebody who's kind of messed up, put on the spot. That person's going to be shown, and then the person who's been associating with them is going to now be in a position to, like, see themselves a little more clearly. And then their hope is that this would make that person who's been putting this off, frankly, for a long time. That's why it's getting louder and more pressure and shit's hitting the fan. We're in retrograde, meaning let's look at this old thing. Let's look at this old thing again. And the pressure is being put on this person to now take responsibility and come with the truth. Whatever the truth happens to be. There's no obligation to commit to somebody or make things up or make it seem better than it was or is, or, you know. It just has to be the truth, I guess. Yeah. So God, all right. Anything else you want us to know? Oh, This is known influence, Saturn. This is happening. This is happening. And every time it doesn't happen, there are consequences built in that will come and shatter what's been built on the lies. And that's how this is ensured to happen in this lifetime, because eventually that pattern will be seen. Because always there'll be the pressure of this situation coming back. And then someone will have no choice but to stop denying that this is what they have to do. So this must be someone who's denying their own intuition. Something that I cannot do anymore. Anything else, God? And I am just asking God, you know? Why not with the Most High? Oh, interesting. Known influence, Fidus. That's truth. Hidden influence, Vibilia. That's truth. Needs balance, Earth. It needs to be grounded. Pressure, North Node. North Node is your life's purpose. Relief, I see. Relief is going down into the core and the root of what caused this in you in the first place. And others, psyche. You're being shown reflections of yourself in the other people around you. So even if it's something you wouldn't do, or, you know, it's like a projection. Like, you have to own that part of yourself, so you stop letting it happen around you and acting like it wasn't your fault because you didn't do it. You knew about it, and you know, like, I remember hanging out with some people one time, and then, like, someone did something really awful. I forget what it was, but, like, no one really cared that that person acted so awful. I forget what they did, but I was just so like, wow, like, they don't even care, like, that to be associated with someone who would do that. That's interesting, you know? It's like, I'm not saying judge people, but also, like, you will be judged by the people that you surround yourself with. And actually, I think that's one of the issues in this dynamic for all the people. You know, maybe someone who's left the situation knows that, and that's why they left. I will be judged by the people that I surround myself with. Not only by them, but by them, by everyone else. If I associate and hang out with these people, I will be seen the way these people are seen. You know, and then other people just, like, trying to keep up appearances because of how they're seen. And other people wanting to associate with certain people because it makes them be seen better. Interesting. So this is basically, I mean, I would highly recommend looking at Jess Puckett, The Chaos, which is reading that she put out today on August 11th. Because it's been reiterated to me now, and it's come right through my cards. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have asked to deliver this message. I didn't want to. I just didn't want to, because to me, it feels a little like a little soap opera that I don't really want to be part of. You know? Like, people have the right to choose what they choose, and if you're not the version of yourself that chooses to go the high road, then you're not that version. That's not who you're being. Even if you have that potential, if you don't live the potential, that's not who you're being. Like, what are you going to do? If you weren't the person that had it in you to choose a different road for yourself, a higher thing for yourself, a higher calling, if you didn't have it in you to do that, then you're not that person yet, right? You can only be who you're being. To me, I've never been able to stay stagnant in doing something that I knew was harming myself or others. I've always had to put efforts towards making changes. I could never just be like, whatever about it, you know? but also I'm substance free. I'm sober. I'm with God. I'm hearing my intuition. I'm, open hearted. It's all in my face. It's all, I'm pretty open. So it's not like I could ignore it very easily. So maybe, for me, that's why I was able to answer the call. And this call is for me to say this message, and I don't want to, but I'm answering the call. I'm going to put this message out, and I'm going to pause, shift how I'm sitting, and then I'm going to go further, deeper into it for myself. Hold on. I was about to, shut it down, and then I heard, well, why don't you want to look at this anymore? And so let's look at it. Let's get some cards on why I don't want to be delivering this message. What's in me that makes me feel like I don't want this message in my life? Oh, okay. Known influence, era. Hidden influence, lust. Needs balance, Zeus. Pressure, Dionysus. Relief, Apophis. Others, second house. Oh. I've let certain people have too much power over me. With what they think of me and how I let it be about myself. Like, something in me thinks that if I have to deliver this message and be associated with this kind of stuff, that it means something bad about me, that I would be a match to reading this. And I don't want to be a match to reading this. And I don't want to be a match to this dynamic. I want to be above it. But it does say relief from Apophis, and I think that's cutting the ties of life. No, let me look. Apophis. Apophis. A monstrous serpent who embodies chaos and darkness, constantly battling the sun god Ra. Oh, because Ra was the one who was putting pressure on everyone to have this thing seen. Okay. The embodiment of disorder and the enemy of Mat, the principle of order. Holy shit. So this is saying I'll get relief from embracing chaos. I'll get relief from embracing chaos, which is the feminine energy. Let's do era. Era is something I usually associate with war, but let me see what the mythology says. Primarily revolves around the constellation Era, the altar, which is associated with the Greek myth of the gods' victory over the Titans. The altar is said to be where Zeus and the other gods swore oaths before their epic battle. Oh, the altar. The altar of the gods is the known influence. I just got a lot of energy rush through me. Oh, I made a promise that I would do this. I may have made a promise to do this for the wrong reasons. I agreed to be a sacrifice. Okay. And one more question here. Maybe one more. What is my role in this? What is my role in this? Known influence, skepticus. Yeah. See, that's why I'm asking. I'm like, why would I agree to this? Hidden influence, new cycle. Needs balance, fifth harmonic, gifts and creativity. Pressure from Neptune. Relief from Sirius, just go leading with the heart. Others, opposition. So this is meant to influence me in a certain direction in my creativity. A direction, I've gotten this message before. And I'm like, well, if I needed this experience to go in the direction, then I'm not clear on what that is, because I can't think of anything that I'm drawn towards or pulled towards that is a result of any situation, like dealing with somebody who, chose a lower path. I will say a lower natured path. That's the high path for them, then that's the high path for them. But a lower natured path, I'll say. A path that involved lust and wrath and what's that one way, gluttony and all those kind of overindulgences and things like that. Like drinking and... Okay, so... What is the path that I'm meant to be inspired to by this? What is the path that I'm meant to be inspired to by this? Known influence sun, hidden influence sun, needs balance gibbous moon, pressure Hygeia, relief full moon, others frig. Let's look up Hygeia. Hygeia is cleaning it up. Goddess of health, cleanliness, and sanitation. There's pressure to clean this up. Oh. These others might be married. The one that is sort of a bad influence, that's kind of lying or whatever, and like interfered in two people's relationship, whatever that could have been, even if it was going to be a friendship. Those people might be married. So cleaning this up obviously has to do with shining a light on it, right? As we've got the sun. And then balancing out the emotions of it. Relief is the full moon coming into the completion of the emotionals. Okay, so, So, if you can relate to this, right? If you can relate to this, in whatever position you are in the field, this needs to be dealt with on a feeling basis. Whatever feelings exist, whether they're suppressed, denied, drunk away, avoided, pretend that they're not there. You know how I was saying, well, I don't want to deal with this? It could be some avoidance, right? Whatever it is, there's more things to feel about this situation, whatever person you are in the thing. They need to be felt. They need to be dealt with. They need to be processed and have presence. This has to be done. Let's clean up the mess, I just heard. Clean up the mess you made. Not just... all three parties need this, I want to say. Like, all, not just one person or two people, like all of them. You know what I'm feeling come up? It's frustration. Like, yeah. Like frustration that it didn't go how it could have gone on the highest potential. Like if that feels frustrating, maybe you haven't given yourself the permission to feel frustrated by it, because because you have the belief like I do, like if someone chooses someone else, like then that's not it. It means that they weren't the person that they could have been. You know, like they're a different person. They're not being the person that could have taken the path. So they're being a different version of themselves. Like there's nothing to feel anything about, because it's not. It could never have worked. Like you can't control other people. Like, you know. But this is saying, well, you still can have feelings about it, even if it's not logical. Don't let your mind tell you that you don't have a right to feel something about what happened here. Because this is meant to be felt. If you got betrayed, if you got abandoned, if you got left out, if you got lied against, if you got your reputation ruined, if you got cheated out of a chance to be with a soulmate, if you got cheated out of a chance to have a good friend that you know on a soul level, if you got cheated out of a plan to change the world, if you got cheated out of a way to bring magic to this world, you gotta feel a way about that. In this reading, what I just pulled out of this, and did you see how I was really immersed in it, right? Like, I can resonate with this. I'm going to be doing this too. I'm going to be processing any feelings that I have about a situation that I had many years ago, where it didn't go how I thought it should, would, could go. And this is saying there are some feelings in there. Even if it's not logical for you to feel that way, even if this isn't about your mind, this is about karma. This is about energy that might not make sense in this lifetime, but it's still there. And I don't think that everyone lives that way, right? Just so you know, like, I think some people are not working on past life karmas. I think some people don't have to even ever think about past life karmas. I don't think everyone's here working on past life karmas. I think these people are. I think this trio is specifically being asked to take responsibility for their part in something, to take responsibility for the feelings that came with that, for the decisions, to bring it to light, to be honest, to be truthful, to let this finally air out, and just let the truth be told to everyone in this. Don't let this fester in a dark corner for another lifetime. You know, I don't think there'll be another chance for this. I really don't. You know if this is resonating for you, and if it's not, it's not. That's okay. I would think this is pretty specific, but maybe this is a storyline that is being cleaned up on Earth at this time. And maybe there's a bunch of us kind of doing it, and maybe it's from a little bit different angle, each of us. But if you can relate, if you can even just resonate, it doesn't even have to be playing out, I think, for you to resonate with this. You know? If you have something to process in the way of feelings about a situation like this, maybe it's a story you were told when you were a kid. Maybe it's your parents' story. You know? Maybe it's a story that you've watched happen. Maybe it's a story that you are living out, or that you feel like one of these parties. Whatever it may be, this is saying it is time to clean it up. Through the feelings is the way. Bringing balance into the way that you feel is what's going to help you process and get into the space you need to have the truth be known and told in some cases. That's it. I'm ending it there. Alright. Woo! I hope I can feel some things after this, because that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do my part and feel what I gotta feel. But for me, I don't, like, it's not on the surface, so might maybe have to dig, but I'm gonna try to use these cards to try to dig into some place where I may have something stored. Alright, here goes.